All right, so it's roughly 9:20 on January 1st, 2026. And I'm about to set the feeder up. I want to try to get back into the rhythm of doing that. It's a little harder when you got to go somewhere to do it other than, the confines of my backyard. Um, as you can see, I will show you, we got some snow squalls that accumulated pretty much everything that's on the ground. It came around, I want to say around 6 o'clock this morning. I haven't been to sleep. I wanted to go out and get some things started, nature-wise and whatever. I'll just probably crash early tonight, but you see what happens from there. But yeah, so I'm gonna see if I can set it up. I'm a little worried because I got the charger, but with the snow on the ground and stuff, so we'll see how it goes. I gotta pick it up at around probably about 4:30ish, so that way it because I gotta get it out of here before sunset. So, and sunset comes too fast, but we're going in the right direction soon. Actually, the daylight staying longer is, I think, going in the right direction now. But you can hear the other thing I'm worried about. I mean, I got a waterproof case on it, but on the camera. But just worried about like the snow blowing and going right into the into the camera. Then it'll just kind of distort the screen, but not distort it, but it'll make it come out like blurry if it hits the where it's recording at. But anyways, I'm gonna go set it up and I'll let you know how I made out. It's not, I just found a spot yesterday, so it's kind of not completely set up yet, but I just have to do a couple things and go from there. So I'll see you in the next clip. All right, so it's currently set up. It was kind of a rushed job, but just pray that it comes out okay. It doesn't fall over. I pretty much have it wedged pretty much good, but I just want to make sure that, well, hope that it comes out all right, where it stays on and on. The other thing I'm fighting is the cold and the wind. Out of breath. Yeah, I didn't expect this snow squall. I was kind of surprised when I saw it, snowing and all. But if I have to, I'll take a nap later. I'm gonna try to stay up, but can't really do Uber tonight because I don't know what the schedule is for the restaurants and all, what Uber eats, because of the being New Year's Day. So I might take a walk later. All depends. I also have to watch with my phone because it'll go down quick. So if I take a walk, it'll have to be probably a real short one. But I want to try to start catching, getting some, getting wildlife early. That's kind of, like I said, it's kind of why I stayed up. And I just wanted to get a jump start on some things. And anyways, I'm coming up near the car and the sun's shining in that, and plus my hands freezing. So I think I heard a red-bellied woodpecker. Probably, I don't know. But anyways, I'm gonna cut it off there and I'll see you in the next clip. All right, so that was definitely an interesting first sighting that I got recorded today. I just got a bald eagle over near the lake over there. Got him on video, which is good, definitely good. Didn't expect that, but that's why I like doing this, because you never know what you're going to get. I mean, a lot of times you get the everyday squirrel, geese, but this time I got a bald eagle. So anyways, I'm sitting here, I'm getting ready to go get the camera. It's 4:06 right now, and figure I got some time to kill. And so I figure I'll talk a little more on here. After I left here, or after I left to drop the camera off, went home. My daughter wasn't feeling good, so I took her up to patient first. And turns out she has like a stomach flu. I mean, she's not like throwing up or the other end, but she just feels like queasy and feels like she has to throw up. And also she has strep throat. Now the flu, I don't care about getting. Strep throat, I had it once in my life, and I hope to God I never get it again. Now her strep throat is also different because she don't have a sore throat. But they did say that the strep throat can affect the stomach. So I don't know, it's just weird, but so anyways, I have to get her antibiotics tomorrow because places are closed. What a pharmacy that we go to is closed, so I'll go up there tomorrow, grab it, and then I'll get it in the morning so she can start taking it and, get her on the road to recovery. Then when I came back from there, I ran to the store because normally I run to the store around 4 o'clock, but if I'm going to be coming to get the camera, I'm going to start trying to go to the store earlier so that way I can just focus on coming and getting the camera. But after I came back from there, I drank another cup of hot chocolate, and then I ended up taking a nap. And then I think it was like maybe a 45-minute to an hour nap. And I don't know, I woke up feeling like different. There's a lot of shit that is in my head that I got to get out. That's why I'm doing these videos. Is my goal is to find peace of mind again. It's been 10 years of emotional and mental pretty much abuse, and it's just, you get to a point where you feel like your mind is damaged and you don't know what to think, what to believe. You get guilt trips thrown at you. So like I said earlier, I came up with a list of goals that I want to start working on. It's a long road to get to where I officially want to be, but I have to start doing something to get myself out of this situation. And as time goes on, it'll start, everything will start surfacing once I keep doing, these kinds of videos. What I might do is just start with a goal, talk about a goal with each, when I do these. I can't guarantee I'm going to do these every single day because I'm not putting like pressure on myself. And also, as far as the comments being off, I turned the comments off on my nature stuff towards the end before I had stopped doing them. It wasn't that I intentionally wanted to stop doing them. It was just when you move and you lose your backyard feeder, which was pretty much my bread and butter. Wasn't getting paid for it, but that was the main part of my channel. And when you lose that, it becomes sad. We'll just use sad as the word. Because I had done that pretty much out of the 10 years I've been doing YouTube. I probably did it probably 9 of them. And it's just like, you just get to a point where there's been so many changes ever since my dad passed in 2016. Like I said, it's been an emotional and then a mental struggle. And I suffer from PTSD from the whole situation. And it is what it is, and that's what I keep saying. But at the same time, it's actually flying around out there with, I guess it's a younger one. Doesn't have the white on the head. So anyways, about the feeder, the ideal situation for the feeder would be to set it up as early as I can in the morning and run it till pretty much right near sunset. And again, sunset's starting to go back a little. Once it got to the summertime, you know, it would definitely be a lot later, and it'd be a lot easier to get more time recording wise. But unfortunately, because I do Uber Eats overnights, the only way I'd be able to do that is I would have to stay up all night, all the time, and then I would have to be able to sleep when I came home, and sometimes that's not an option. Yes, and I try not to throw my butts on the ground, so I put them out and then throw them in here. Then I clean it out. Today the goal one is going to be focused on the feeder. Now again, it was kind of rushed this morning and a lot of snow's going off the ground, but I just couldn't, I didn't have it set up ahead of time, whereas I could have just put it down and set it up. It was more or less, I had to grab a brick from at home because I have it wedged between like two bricks and stuff, and that's how I kind of keep it up. I also have to have it sheltered. I hide it, you know, it's pretty hidden, but that's always a worry, you know, because there's a lot more homeless people as opposed to when I was doing it years ago, out here, or, you know, in this area around the woods. Whereas there's a lot of people now living in the woods and you just don't know where they're living at, and you don't want somebody to stumble by. I already had a GoPro stolen from doing the same thing. It was a Christmas Eve and I went to get my daughter some more stuff, and came back, GoPro was stolen. But it was kind of my fault because I kind of left it more out in the open, and it was cold out, and you're thinking you're not going to be long, but now you just got to take all precautions and all, you know, safety. And again, I'm just hoping that the charger with the cold weather lasted, I guess I'm getting, about 7 hours in the end. I'm not sure. But that video will go on sometime next week. I'm going to try to do what I was doing before and try to schedule them somewhat a week ahead. So it may go on next Thursday. I'm not 100% sure. I may just start it on Monday and maybe run it every other day until I start getting enough footage to. But I know that my channel started declining near the end, and back to the comments. Near the end, there was a couple of like negative comments, and it had something to do with, I almost think it was the same person, because both of them, just different name, because both of them were almost identical to what they were saying, just different wording. But basically it was like if I had European birds and I wasn't feeding the birds that are more, I forget exact wording, but it may have sounded like that I was feeding the birds and it was doing more harm to the other birds. And it was, I don't know, it was just, and when you do this stuff, and then I you know, I watch a lot of other people's channels. I watch a lot of people that are in recovery. I watch a lot of people who just share their life stories. And you see all this negative a-holes that know nothing about the person, but yet have to sit behind their keyboards like a bully and just sit there and make asinine comments to people. And it's like I've gotten to the point where I try not to read comments anymore, because it's just, even if it's like 15 good comments, there's always that one that's so negative in the middle of them that it just like kind of just makes your stomach turn. And I just don't, you know, it's ridiculous. And then I've gotten to the point where I'm the type of person, I'll say something and then I'm taking a chance of losing my channel, you know, because I start firing at them and I don't hold back with what I say. But I'm like that in person too. I'm always the type of person who advocates for myself, advocates for people that I need to advocate for. But in the situation I'm dealing with my, you know, it's basically with my mom, but when you deal with my family and they don't listen to, it's like it's their way or no way. And I felt like I've been pretty much put in a situation that I never asked to be in. And I again, you start beating yourself up. And as far as my channel declining, these are half, so I'm probably just gonna, I don't even know what time it is now. I want to start heading over there around 4:30ish, 4:15. Like I said, it started, with not responding to a lot of comments. I'll get on a roll where I start doing it good, and then things just kept going on. And I noticed over the last, pretty much ever since 2020, when the C word hit, and the pandemic, things started declining from there, because at that point I was still doing the feeder in my backyard. People were home from work, and it was becoming more noisier out there, with them, doing whatever in their backyards. And it took away, because I wasn't able to record, because I'm the type, generally I like having natural sounds. I mean, there's sometimes where I have to dub something in, but I've done so many recordings on a daily basis that there's no way I could sit there and go through every single video. And I mean, I've had thousands of videos over the years, and you just get to, and like I said, it's just, everything just started declining from that year and on. And then this year, it was like I was losing more footage than I should have been losing. It's because of having to sell this. And so I, at one point, started out with 3 iPads, and ended up, now I just got, I got this one, which doesn't, it's like I think it's a 32 gig, which doesn't hold much space to begin with, especially for what I do. So the one that I'm using over there, which is why I don't want to lose him, again, I want to also get a phone that has no service. I just want a phone just to record, because it's easier to have something smaller than it is, something like this. So basically, it'd only be being used as recording purposes. Actually, I need 2 new phones, really. This phone I can't charge with a wire. I have to put it into something that charges it through the back. But I ain't even charging it fully when I do it. It takes forever to do it. So that's also affecting me with, getting content or getting my videos out. So it's a lot of, I mean, it could be a lot of, because of the way I do things. I do things pretty basic. I don't have the best of equipment, but I work with what I got, and it works for me. Might be, again, a little extra work, but I do what I have to do. But yeah, so, I mean, the channels I noticed over the course of the last, now you say 5 years, they started declining each year even more, and I was losing more and more stuff. And I was getting backed up so much. Then last year I went into a place, mental place, not a hospital. I voluntarily went in, and I was in there for 2 weeks. So that's 2 weeks there. I wasn't recording, and it just, my life was getting in the way of, with everything I was dealing with, was getting in the way of my channel. And that's why all I can do now is start fresh today and just try to rebrand my, my videos, and just kind of keep going from there. I mean, it's really all I can do, but it's going to be kind of like a lot of these kinds of videos, but I'm going to try to do my best to keep them within a nature setting. It ain't going to always happen that way. There's going to be videos where I'm going to be driving down to, like, say, Kensington, and that's the big epidemic drug center in Philly. So, but me being a person who's worked in rehab, worked in recovery, went to school to become a certified peer specialist, which, again, my lifestyle or my life issues kind of messed that up as well. So I wasn't able to continue on that path, but I do have a lot of goals that I want to start accomplishing. It's just a matter of being able to do it, and not beating myself up if I am not going as fast as I want to be. So that's pretty much it. But I want to be able to use these videos to make a difference with other people, and hopes that, like, somebody may be going through something similar. And some people will say, how can you help somebody else if you're going through so much? It's not, I can do it. I mean, for me, I kind of feed off of helping other people. And yes, it makes me feel good. It's not something I have to do. It's something I want to do. But it does help me be able to process things I'm going through myself. Now, again, some people can do it. Some people can't. For me, when I was working in recovery, I was running groups that was based on like mental health, and the groups went phenomenal. And actually, I have a group prospect that might be on the horizon, which I have to come up with a proposal in order to get it started, because it's got to go through, I think, quite a few people. But it's something that I'm definitely looking forward to, and by doing that, it'll actually help me feel better, and it will help me be able to deal with the other situations that I'm personally dealing with in that sense. And plus, I'll be able to bring stuff up in that. And that's kind of like why I went to school to become. It's a 2-week class to become a certified peer specialist. It's just I graduated. I just never took the state test, and that without that you can't really do much. But I have the experience, and most of the experiences you already go in there with, because it's all mental health. So I definitely have a lot of goals, and I have a lot of things that I want to start pursuing. But I can't let other people continue to dictate my life. That because my mom's elderly, I can't basically leave the house. I'm 53 years old. I'm still capable of working. So I'm actually thinking about, like, even if I continue to do Uber Eats, start pursuing the other areas of my life, and maybe start like an outreach type thing and start helping people in the mental health field. I mean, I've gotten people off the streets. One I got out of a trap house. She was in addiction, and I was able to get her out of a trap house down in Philly. For people that don't know, they're pretty much houses where the drugs are going in and out, and people are kind of staying in there. But it's a very, very sad situation, and that's why I said it pisses me off when I see a lot of the comments that people literally just degrade the person, or I love hearing that sound. But anyways, it's 4:23, so I'm gonna start driving. I'm gonna try to get back on, but the next time I get back on, I'll either be in my car in the dark. Well, I'll put a light on or something, or it might come from, depending on the wind, it might come from my back patio at my place. But it's harder to do. That's why some of the videos I might have where I'll just finish this and then head out. I know 4:30 is in Sunset, so I'll be able to get there and bet where I gotta get to. But so it goes out. Some of these I might have to type up when I do it. I really don't want to do that, because it's like it's kind of like double the work. But because my short-term memory is bad, a lot of times I have to go back and look to see what I talked about, so I don't repeat something. So it's going to be different. What the heck was that? A drone. I was going to say, ain't no bird or hawk or eagle or anything making that kind of a sound. So anyways, I wouldn't mind having one of those, but obviously I'd be using mine for, nature stuff. I'd fly it above like lakes and rivers and stuff, and just try to get whatever I can from the aerial view. But yeah, so some of the videos might come differently in different formats, like bullet points. I've said all this in the past, and you get to a point where you get tired of starting to do stuff like this, and it's helping me in a lot of ways by doing it, and then all of a sudden I just abruptly stop doing it. And that's something that I have to stop doing. I have to stop starting and then stopping, because it seems to be a pattern that I do, whether it's something that triggers me at home or family-wise. My daughter, I mean, she's with me in this, and it's actually kind of destroyed her in the same process. And there's a lot of guilt that I feel because of that, because I feel like I shouldn't have kept us in this situation. But again, when you get guilt stuff thrown at you and you deal with nothing but narcissistic, manipulative people, I'm not a perfect person, but I have values, I have beliefs, and I have
I believe in doing what's right for people, but also I don't believe I end up getting railroaded in a lot of ways. So, like I said, I have defended myself and I have advocated for myself to my family. But again, when people don't want to listen or hear, or at least hear your side, it gets to a point where there is no reasoning with them. I mean, I don't mind doing videos in the car, but I'm gonna try to keep it kind of a mix and match. But at least I have it. I could definitely can't do it in my place because I don't get no, like, a lot of times privacy, and I have to be in that mindset. So, like I said, it'll probably be more so bullet point type things, like topics or things I want to talk about. Even if I just jot it down throughout the day, I would like to try to do this daily, but like I said, I might do it 2-3 days in a row, and then I might not do it for 2 days. But it is still going to be heavily based on nature, but it's also going to be heavily based on this type of stuff. And if I'm able to, I won't know by until the end of January. I got to come up with the proposal, and pretty much I just shoot it straight from the heart. Just say what I want to bring to it, and just kind of go from there. But again, I have to be in the right mindset. So when I start typing it up, so a lot of times I'm my own worst enemy. One of my biggest vices, at least going forward, is fear. Another one is procrastination, and I think they're tied in with each other. And dealing with PTSD, it's not an easy situation. So, anyways, and I know last thing before I go is that I do that quite often. I do it with conversations with people. I say I'm going 10 minutes later, I'm still there talking. Let's see, I just had a brain fart, so it kind of slipped my mind. Normally, I don't usually do this on video, but it's just, I just want to be me. You know what I mean? I just want to be who I am. This is definitely something in the future I have to work on because my smoking is way out of control. I have a lot of medical issues. That might be tomorrow or the next video, whether it's tomorrow or the next day or whenever. Maybe I'll go through like my medical stuff that I have to follow through with. My blood pressure just started running high. I mean, real, like, to the point where I don't think the doctor was going to let me go. He was going to send me probably to the hospital, but my blood pressure has always ran perfect. But all the mental stuff that I've gone through over the course of the last almost 10 years, eventually it starts affecting you physically. And plus, I don't eat the best, and too much of this, too much abuse on the body. So between the last 10 years, I can tell by looking at some of my older videos that I've aged immensely over the course of the last few years. But anyways, I'm going to cut it off there, go grab the camera, and I should have at least probably one more part. If not, then I'll just cut it off there and then start with the next video when I do. Alright, so right now I just came up to Family Dollar. I'm going to probably pretty much close the video out here because I want to try to get it on for tomorrow morning. I'm going to probably upload it or premiere it around 8 o'clock in the morning. Tuesday. But anyways, just want to close it out with, today really didn't feel like New Year's Day. There was no college football. New Year's Day to me symbolizes like college football, the bowl games, and usually they're on the one Channel 6. There was nothing on, just regular shows. So it's just, it was just, I don't know, just times feel different, like, anymore. And it all is tied into, like, I mean, a lot of it isn't, but a lot of things have really changed. But it's, it's not like it was years ago. Even up until I think last year they had the they had college games on. So I don't know if the college playoffs had something to do with that, with the football or what, but yeah, it's just, I don't know. Tomorrow I'm looking to go out for a walk. I have my appointment, and which is an appointment that I use just to get out of the house or out of the place. And they get a lot of business here, which is good. It was a lot more than what they used to get. But yeah, so I will probably be going for a walk. I'm just not sure where. I'm gonna set up the camera again. I feel like I just keep getting wind after wind. So I'm like not even really that tired right now. I'm hoping that it wears off and then I can crash early. I do want to go out and do Uber Eats tomorrow night. Maybe I'll record that. I'm gonna try to record as much as I can without recording everything. So I'm gonna probably do that. The video, the feeder video is 6 hours and 40 minutes long. What I did was I took it all the way up until stuff started appearing, and it seemed pretty active today. I think the snow helped with that because obviously they can't, there's seed down, so they're gonna go after that. But other times when I've set up at that spot, basically I just rotated it around, try to hide it better. But when I've set up before, it took a little bit for them to find the food. Today they seem to be pretty spot on. So that's definitely a good thing. The total video was 7 hours, 9 minutes. So basically I cut out about a half hour. And the video at the end, they were pretty much there almost up until I came back there. So that's definitely decent. Pretty much to close it out, there was some deer that showed up. I want to say maybe, I don't know, it's near the end. Not near the end, but close to the end. Looked like there was about 3. I don't think they're all on there at one time, but I know I got 2 in one shot. So it was definitely a good day. I felt a lot more myself before I laid down for about the hour that I took the nap. And like I said, I woke up feeling kind of funky. But again, it can like flip flop. And like I said, I haven't really had a lot of ruminating thoughts, but there are things I'm going to, work on here too. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to probably go over one goal, per video, these kind of videos, or maybe one video I'll just cut out, and do all of it in one shot. All depends. If the wind died, I could go out on my patio. Yeah, it'd be dark, but we got light and all. But I just kind of go as I go. Like I said, I'm not gonna try to put a lot of pressure on myself to kick out a certain amount of videos a week. The nature will cover that as it goes. Again, I would like to get to regularly setting up the feeder. It's a good matter of the morning time, which sometimes may be around 10 to 12 o'clock in the afternoon. So then I'm only really getting like 4.5 hours per, if I get it set up around 12. So it's a little difficult when it's not in your backyard. Otherwise, it had probably been continuing till now. But yeah, I'm going to close it out, and I will see you all in the next video.